Um, Let me first introduce myself. My name is Kirill Kuznetsov. I'm the head of an SRE department at Evil Martians. But at this moment in time, I'll be your host for today. So feel free to ask me any questions or anyone from our side, but in general, you can reach me. And we are hosting a number of small meetups all across the world. They are called Bits and Bytes, and we welcome you here. Thank you so much for coming. It's so nice to see such a huge crowd here. And yeah, last call for anyone who wants to join us. Yeah, we'll be hosting 3 talks today. The last update is that first 2 talks will be in English and the last one will be in Russian, unfortunately, but or fortunately for someone. Yeah, and we'll be talking today about infrastructure. I am an SRE, I'll be talking too, so I'll be finally reach from my perspective to you guys. We'll be talking about the color spaces, a great talk today. I hope you'll get a lot of ideas from it. And we'll be talking about not a technical thing, but about how to manage conflicts in your teams. And this is huge. I work at Evil Martians for around 12 or 13 years already. I went through all of that and I completely can relate to this thing. And fortunately for us, we have ourselves a speaker today who knows about it too and who is not afraid to give you a perspective on that. Okay, I think we can start. Please give me a minute to switch my slides because this is just like an intro for a background. It's not that important. I believe these are the ones. And the clicker. So as you see, this is not my original slides because maybe you've yeah. Because those are my slides. I'll be literally explaining to you guys everything with my bare hands because this is my handwriting. I decided I will torture you with it. First, again, I'm the head of an SRE at Evil Martians. Who Evil Martians are? We are a small development shop, and we focus lately on helping developer tools to mature, to become better selves. And we deal with around 20 to 30 startups a year, growth stage startups. This is important. There are about 50 of us. We've known for years for our open source, and we've known for years for our Ruby on Rails community involvement. But of course, this is not the only thing that we do. And one of those things is that we help our clients to deal with their infrastructures. That's why they have me and the rest of the team who deal with that. And yeah, infrastructures, because here, this is a problem actually. I feel it's all time because usually infrastructure is what a startup or a growing project thinks about at the very last moment, where it's already a pain. And I already have a question for you guys. Please raise a hand. Those who have never had any problem with their infrastructures on their projects. Any hands? Come on, I saw some Yandex logos here. Okay, so no lucky people today. For everyone in this room who feels that same pain, We have a free beer on a bar. Use it. It's on us today. Yeah, so what will we talk about just a bit more? First of all, as this is such a problem, I've decided that I need to give some perspective on how to tackle it. Not a technical, not really a technical perspective, but kind of a guide on how to address and how to step by step figure your way inside this issue. Because obviously, you all guys know that there are no such thing as a universal solution. There is none. And yeah, the only disclaimer here that I want to make that I'm not the enterprise guy, unfortunately. And I won't be talking about huge enterprises, and I probably shouldn't because they have their own like circus. And the next thing that I want to mention right away is that, yeah, I won't be able to tackle all the edge cases that definitely are around, but I urge you to join me after the talks or in between the talks and ask any questions about any edge cases you have, and we can discuss them because that's really interesting all the time. Yeah, I am passionate about infrastructure, as you've noticed. For who this talk will be beneficial? First of all, are there any CTOs here? No, perfect, actually, perfect. So how many like software engineers do we have now? Please raise hands, don't be shy. Yeah, a lot. I don't know who the rest of you guys are, but and why are you doing this? But still, this talk will be beneficial for all of you because we all are involved in the project development. It's not only ruled by business, but it's all the business relies on us to find the solutions. So we all do have our voice in the life of the project. So if you have an additional perspective which you can give on your meetings, on your check-ins, whatever, on your discussions, this will help. And this is a general idea which can be used in a wide number of situations. So, yeah, I don't like this clicker. I'm sorry. Okay, let's imagine you have a fresh startup. A fresh startup is a thing that should focus only on the main goals, which are business goals at the start. They need to create an MVP as fast as they can. Like literally yesterday, yeah. And they should not think about the those crazy kind of guys who talk that you will suffer from the improper infrastructure somewhere in the future. No, they should not. And this is right. This is a good starting point. You should have your business together. You should have your product together. And obviously, at the start, you have a smaller team, so you have some limited resources. You have some questions unanswered in terms of business. So this is a perspective where a lot of people start from. And yeah, so what are your best options there? It's those three. I can recap them from my memory whenever you wake me up. It's Heroku, it's Flyo, it's Render. Why? Because, like I've said, these are the only things that do some real magic for you. And this is our general suggestions when we are asked to investigate the situation for a project. And we often say, like, use them or continue using them, and you'll understand why just a little bit later. So obviously, those platforms. Let's call those platforms, just for the sake of terminology. And when do you need to move further out of those platforms? This is a question actually for you guys. I want to hear some answers. Any suggestions? When? When you have money, one answer was when you have money. Okay, keep that in mind. Any other suggestions?
When this infrastructure become very costly.
Again, money. Okay, we'll remember that too. Thank you. Any other suggestions?
When you start suffering from
When you'll start suffering from what? From money?
no, from Heroku or from YAO.
Okay, let me rephrase that suggestion. So when you start suffering, I address this point in general as a technical limitations. Yeah, so this is the right point. Thank you very much. But we'll be addressing this point as technical limitations. So any other suggestions? Or you are just gonna stay with those two as I did? Okay, so yeah, the first is obviously money. This is an obvious problem that everyone is talking about right now. Like literally everyone on the internet. Those platforms are costly. They like rip you of your money each day. We need to move out of there. We need to move further. Okay, we are prepared to deal with that, but like really, why do we need to move out? Because of those technical limitations. Because actually, my statement is that there are no money problems there, none. Because money are the technical limitation. They equal to technical limitation. Because what is the inside of the money problem there? Of the costs problem there. For example, a bloated database. This is a technical problem which you haven't solved. Like you haven't solved how you'll be managing your data inside your database. Or you are growing so fast that your code is not keeping up to be as fast as you want it to grow. Like for example, it's not that optimal yet. It has some slow queries, etc. You can name a lot of technical problems here. But those still are technical, but they are causing the bill to grow or skyrocket instantly. So now remember the thing, the first point of like checking yourself or choosing the right infrastructure is technical limitations. You should always have a team or a person or like an issue in your Jira to recap those and search for the technical limitations that you have, or like forecast what technical limitations you may hit in the future, because this is the point where you make decisions. So one more metric, just let me talk about money a bit more, because actually, despite that money aren't a problem, they provide us with a nice metric. Everybody loves metrics, yeah? But nobody knows how to use them. I suggest we use as like a lower number of metrics as we can. And so I figured out this metric. It's simple as hell, but yeah, it's helpful. You move further when your business will benefit from the price drop, where the platform things. I'll put Heroku there just because it's famous. Basically, I could have printed, written there that those platforms, Heroku, Render, Flyo, whatever. When this is like literally is more expensive to implement with your inside your situation than to implement any other kind of infrastructure. But the great start is to compare it to, for example, AWS or GCP, plus some kind of a team. Do this cost. You basically know your price, your salary. So anyone just can compare how much like will the infrastructure cost plus, for example, your salary. Yeah, because these are comparable, like plus minus something like two. Imagine two of yourselves. But infrastructure guys there. Come on. Yeah. So what options do we have next? Obviously, the famous ones are that we can go to public clouds and we can literally get our shit together and go to bare metal and do all the things by hand there. And first, let's discuss the road to public clouds. And as you guys are software engineers, I decided I'll do some software development for you for this stuff, yeah, and to provide you with some simple conditions. So when do you need or you can go to public clouds? You have to meet either one of those conditions. You see this or thing. This is important part. This is like the condition that covers a lot more situation that you can imagine. Because if you basically have something similar to seasonal loads or like spiked loads or undefined growth rate, or your business doesn't know how it will behave after like a third quarter or whatever, you're stuck. You're stuck with public clouds or actually platforms. But we're talking about public clouds here, so public clouds it is. And you have to go to public clouds. You are stuck with them. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You have your pros and your cons there. You can experiment on public clouds way faster than you were able to, or you would have been able to on bare metal servers. And this is actually huge. Yes, you have some downsides too, but this is actually huge. You can do more experiments and define what are your technical limitations and business limitations are. So you can make in the nearest future more appropriate decisions. You can like pivot your project a bit, choose more appropriate tools, but to select them, you need some data. This is a place where you can gather those data, that data faster. This is crucial. Obviously, if you need a scalable solution, you are stuck with public clouds. I think this doesn't require any like, additional explanation. And basically, what I call the fast enrollment time is that if you want to start your experiment for the first time, this allows you to do this fast again. This is basically a repetition, but just in case. The cons. I see two major ones. It's possible vendor lock and still the pricing. But remember, the money is not the problem. The problem is some technical limitation that you have inside, some hidden somewhere inside those money. So we basically have almost no real cons. We have a situation that you have to solve. So it's not like they are not prohibiting us to stay on public clouds. That's it for the public clouds. And let's go to the bare metal setups. Look carefully. Do you see any differences in the general condition? Anyone? Exactly. Yeah, this is absolutely right. Here we have extremely strict condition. It's simplified one, but it's already like way stricter than we saw before. We have 3 points, and they all have to be met for us to like decide to go to the bare metal with the ease of our mind. We of course have to be stable like hell. We need our business to know its goals, its projections, how much money will it have in the nearest future. And this nearest future for this kind of a project is years, at least a year. You see, so and obviously you will have to address a lot more of technical challenges on your way. So you already need to have a team who knows how to ask the right questions and how to answer them in different situations. And only in this, if those 3 conditions are met, you can just we are able to go to the bare metal just without any additional thinking. We're lucky guys. Again, come on. Pros and cons. First, pros. Yeah, I'm not telling anyone, or I'm never telling anyone that bare metal is bad. Actually, I think that bare metal always was and still will be for a foreseeable future the best option for your money. If you need the performance, like performance per money per dollar, is the biggest. Has you can find your biggest value for by this metric in bare metal servers. Yes, this is right. And if you need like even bigger performance, sometimes like most of the times, if it needs to be sustainable, okay, yeah, because obviously you can buy for like enormous amount of money a public cloud sometimes, no, not every time, but for a sustainable overall performance, bare metal servers are great too. But what are the cons? Anyone?
Huge initial investment required in order to
Okay, something else?
difficult to manage the whole infrastructure.
All right, something else?
Replication maybe.
Again, please.
Replication maybe. It's kind of hard to.
Replication, again, what was that?
Difficult to manage.
Difficulty to manage the additional investments, please.
Implementations,
Uh,
functions.
Unpredictable.
You can plan a year ahead, but in middle of this year, just
Yeah, the problems with the planning, basically, yeah. Right, anything else?
tech for SRE.
Excuse me?
Money for SRE.
The price for the SRE team, kinda not exactly what I'm asking here, but okay, we'll go with that too.
Technical audits much more easy in the clouds. For example, CIDSS is much more easy in the clouds.
Okay, harder technical audits, right. Okay, let me uncover it. I'll give you a moment to face it. Just give me a sec. Yeah, because I could have written and written and written points here, and yeah, these are the situation that we need to like the issues that we need to work around, and there is a huge number of them. And if you aren't sure you're prepared to face them all, probably bare metal is not exactly for you at that moment in time. You see, you already have your conditions that you can evaluate and decide on where you should go. And basically, this is the core of my idea on how you should face the problem of dealing with infrastructure. But I have something more. If you are like out of Heroku, how do you manage that infrastructure, be it on AWS or bare metal servers? How do you even start to get the grasp of it? Again, you're answering the critical questions because this is the samurai way that you should always like be on in your projects. Come on, guys. Hmm? Do you have one? Lucky bastard. Okay, yeah, this is actually the right one. I won't be hanging there for a lot. Hire yourself an SRE team. Period. Yeah, I'll give you one more moment here. I won't be drinking water, but yeah, face it. You need to have some team of experts that will whose task will be to find the solutions for this exact way, for your exact goals. Because, for example, in a business, you already have people who think about the product. They think about product goals. They are facing them. They won't be able to produce the ideal solution for each time, but they are just doing it step by step. They get in their mistakes, but they're still doing this and pushing your company further. Same goes for like software development. You have a team already which which focuses on building the application, the product, the technical part of it. So why don't you have a team here at somewhere at this point when you're moving out of like those magical platforms like Heroku or Flyo, who will do the same? And see, it can be basically any team that you can gather yourself together. And I'm not I don't exactly care what the team looks like, unless it's the team that doesn't do anything, because you can grow yourself some experts inside the team. Like you can ask people if they're interested to learn more, to investigate their time more, because this is just an issue which people can tackle and invest their time and learn something about it. You can hire yourself and a DevOps person inside your company, or you can hire some outside companies like Evil Martians, for example, or any other. The options are limitless, basically. There, you can combine those two. This all works. Better or worse, but this really works. And I don't care what kind of team, but you should have a team at this point. You should think about getting yourself a team, because those people will help you the way business helps you, the way developers help you. But okay, again, we need to tackle the money problem here, because everyone is talking about that is pricey. So can anyone answer to this question more, like kind of reliably for us? Or try to? I'm not like pointing fingers for the wrong answers. Is hiring yourself an SRE team expensive? This is a nice answer. The answer was it depends on the size of the project and the team that you want to hire. I heard I don't know who said that, but the answer is yes. But one more quick question: is this the right answer? The first answer is yes. No, wrong. This is the wrong question. This is a wrong question, because the right question looks like this is again the scheme that allows you to choose your path at this point. And here it's presented as a question: should we grow our project on the one side, or should we not the project, the product, or should we search for our product? And when I mean search for our product, I mean that we still don't have exact plans on what we need to do, how we get the money, how sure we are about our future, etc., etc., etc. And in our case, it's a business problem. So we're now like figuring out that we have a second general problem in this journey, that we first had technical limitations, and now we have like business limitations or business problems. So in case that you really need to grow, your business need to face it and find the money or the possibility to grow yourself an SRE or hire them. If your business is still unsure what you need to do, you're probably at the moment where you're at the moment where you've done amazing thing. You figured out there is something wrong, and you can circle back and figure your things anew. And probably at this moment you don't need to move anywhere. For example, you may decide to stay with Heroku, Flyo, or whatever the previous infrastructure you've had before. And this is a huge point, because nobody talks about it. Nobody speaks about it. I've never heard about it, like a project manager speaking about it this way, because I usually hear phrases like, we don't have the money, we shouldn't do this, but what should we do? This answers what should we probably do. Another thing, it's a bonus. So basically, I finished with the main story, but I have to tackle this bonus, and I have to tease you with this, because obviously, this is scary. This is hugely scary. I understand, but we've got ourselves to a point where we already are facing some difficult infrastructures. We're choosing between bare metal on one side, some complex scaling up and down solutions on the other side on AWS or whatever. So how do you manage those things? You have a number of options, and again, I actually don't care. You can use whatever you want, and if you can manage that, and this will be a win for you. But I see a lot that people start to omit good modern tools because they are scared of them. And remember, at this point of our talk, you either like circled back to your business and you're figuring your business, or you already have yourself a great SRE team. And if this SRE team decides that it can, or a DevOps team decides that it can provide you your project with more value while using Kubernetes, let it do so. It's not that scary because those are the people who are figuring it out. They are figuring it out. Oh, where is it? You'll probably in the mortal world want to use Docker containers anyway, and you have like no actual contendants for Kubernetes, like real contendants for Kubernetes at this moment, who can provide you with all the like out-of-the-shelf solutions as fast as Kubernetes can. So yeah, and just to tease you, this is how engineers look when they discovered Kubernetes for themselves. I kid you not. We tested this in our firm. We introduced Kubernetes to developers who knew not a single thing in Kubernetes, and like in 6 hours, these are the eyes. Yeah, believe me. You can ask our other developers. Yeah, because you have a lot. Because the problem is that when you face a solution that is scary, you obviously start to forget that it may have a lot of more positive points, and and you always have to compare them. This may be a true point. Yeah, I believe in that. But if you have a team who is not afraid, you have a lot of on the table that is provided there. I'm giving you this part of the talk just to try to ease your anxiousness about different solutions, and in my case, it's Kubernetes because we see a lot of benefits. We even see clients who were afraid of it, and now they have Kubernetes, and they don't even ask us to help them for like month, and we just come to update the base cluster, and they are figure everything by themselves. Like we didn't teach them. They knew nothing, and they just were working. They were doing the business. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, it happens. Yeah, usually if you have a team already, the SRE team, developers don't need to be involved. Like they are not involved in developing the Heroku or whatever. Yeah, or how was it called in Heroku? Build packs. They don't build a build pack each time they want to deploy something to Heroku. So developers don't need to dive that deep if you have a team already. Yeah. So that's the end of the bonus part. I had to put it. I'm sorry. So let's recap the general idea. First of all, we figured out that we have two kind of problems, and only two in this paradigm. Or limitations. First are the business limitations, and the second one is technical limitations. We don't have money limitations. We don't have questions, is that expensive or whatever. We either can plan for our money and for our business and for the tasks that will be able or unable to solve technical tasks, I mean, or don't. And that's it. And a quick recap of the way that we've gone through today in the first part is that you start as a startup. It's obviously better for you to use more simple solutions that do more for you out of the box, and then ask you face yourself with the conditions. What if I have some business problems? Circle back to your business. What if I have technical limitations at Heroku? Can I solve them there? If not, I need to move. How do I move? I need some help. I need some expertise. Hire yourself a team. What this team will be doing for the next dedicated amount of time? What is that? Sorry. If your business is unsure, your team can focus on public clouds. Like, always ask those questions. If your business model is stable, your team can put every bit of its effort to make your business bloom on bare metal setups and get yourself your bills reduced, and you will be able, like, for example, I don't know, any other famous companies, I won't be pointing fingers, but you probably know who I'm talking about, who lately talks a lot about moving to bare metal, do the same thing and write the same amount of successful articles, like, we moved to bare metal, do like us. They did it because they asked all these questions numerous amount of times. So yeah, this is like the most important part of the talk for you to remember. And here I'm finishing. Thank you very much for you being there. I'm ready for any questions that you may throw at me. And obviously we have some limited time. I'll probably answer like 3 or 4 or 5, but feel free to catch me behind the scene anytime, and we'll jump into any discussion you want. Any questions? Please raise a hand. Yeah.
What about two questions? First of all, a lot of public clouds, if you're a startup, you can get free credits like for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years even maybe. Then it will kind of make your problem easier. Probably you haven't mentioned it, but it should be considered, I guess, in this decision-making logic.
Let me recap, for the recording. There is a suggestions from audience that I have never talked about the situation that if you're a fresh startup, you can get some huge bonuses for your first, I don't know, year or whatever on public clouds, because they are trying to grab you and leave you with them. But yeah, this is actually huge. Thank you for this addition. I wasn't focusing on that, but yeah, this is a nice addition. And you had a second question?
Yeah, second question is this tool which was recently introduced by DHA.
If you'll say Maersk, I'll challenge you to find me after the talk and ask the questions, not ask the questions, and try and describe a real world situation where you would benefit from Maersk. And if you'll be able to, I'll give you an additional merch.
This is why I'm asking. I'm trying it myself, and I guess you have tried.
Okay, the question is about Maersk. Yes, we tried. We think it's a very niche solution. To explain the situation, I will require at least the same amount of time that I've already spent with you guys. I'll try to put it shortly. Just give me a sec. Actually, I can stay here for like a minute and ask you guys more about it. Do you understand what this tool is? Just general thing. Have you ever heard about it? No? No. So okay. Sorry then. Maersk is the tool that claims to deploy automatically containers to servers, and it looks exactly like Capistrano, but for containers. The crucial part is here, this is a tool for deploy. And I cannot stress how important this narrative is, because in like real deploy, like spinning up the container, and it has problems inside too, but they are not critical, but still they do have them. They are not ideal inside. I mean, even this part, but I was talking about the infrastructure. You see, my whole previous talk was about the infrastructure. Maersk is not about infrastructure. If you read any of DHH's talk, he basically says, well, we had our team prepared everything, and now I just run Maersk and I have my part of my application running, but he never talks what his team actually did to make it happen. And he like invested huge amount of effort into the part that we don't see here. Monitoring, Docker container, build servers, tuning this process, log segregation, networking, server setups. I can continue. You will have to stop me with force. So please don't make me. Any other questions? Come on, guys. I'm not biting.
I've got one,
Yeah, please.
but it's not about this topic.
Let me try. So,
Why dragon?
why dragon? You mean in the beginning?
At the end, at the beginning.
Well, that's my nickname, Dr. Dragon or Dragon. This is like a wordplay. I have it from like, I don't know, 13 years old, so I'm sticking with it, and I love dragons. If you want to please me, just throw like any toy or anything with a dragon into to my side, and I'll be delighted. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, if you don't have any questions, we can continue later, but you still like have 10 seconds to reconsider.
Maybe not a question, but
Yeah.
if you're talking about two ways, public clouds or bare metal, you should mention a way you implement a combined solution for some services, public clouds, some things like training models or something like that. You don't afraid to lose.
And let me first recap the question. I was suggested that if I'm talking about this problem and I'm getting into the part that you can either go to public clouds or bare metal servers, I should manage hybrid solutions where you use both for each part of the task that you're solving, right? Yeah. Let me ask you a question instead. What's your profession?
I'm front-end.
You're a front-end engineer. Wow, I'm impressed that you think about that so openly. I mean, yeah, obviously we see it at all, but yeah, thank you so much for not afraid to point it out. Actually, I was asking this question to you only because if I've heard that you're some kind of like a team lead or infrastructure engineer or of any kind, I would have just used this as an opportunity to say, this is what a person who thinks how to improve the infrastructure and work around the limitations that the project is facing looks like. Congratulations. Yeah, and I was not talking about this because I can't cover all the edge cases because I would have talked like for hours and hours and hours. But the idea that you gave me this already thinking about what if, I think this is a win for this talk. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you guys. I think I'm going to finish and we'll have like a 10 to 15 minutes break. See you on the next talk.